When multiplying and dividing fractions, we want to make sure we understand the main idea. The main idea is that times factors are on top, divide factors are on bottom, or times on top, divide on bottom. The other thing that we want to think about is that multiplication and division will undo each other. So if we have a times on top and divide on bottom that's the same, they will undo. So when we multiply this out, the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to show the numerator parts or the times parts. So I'm going to have times 5 times 3 in the numerator. And then in the denominator, I'm going to write this in factored form. I'm going to have divide by 4, divide by 3. I'm just going to highlight this as that's the same as my 12 I have here. And then I'm going to have this divide by 4 here. And anytime I can see a common factor, a times on top, divide on bottom, they can cancel out. And then I end up with times 5 on top, divide by 4 times 4, or 16 on bottom. When we're dividing fractions, the rule is we're going to change it to multiply and flip the fraction. And again, we're allowed to do this because we're doing an opposite. The other way we can think of it is we're really just putting the times and divide in the right place. This means divide by 3. This is divide by 4. A double divide really is times. So that should end up in the numerator. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rewrite this as 2 over 3 change that to multiplication, and then do a double opposite to account for that. Now that I've done that, I have all my times and divide in the right places. So it's going to be times on top, combine the multiplication as 8. Okay, so I combine the multiplication as 4 times 2, and I'm going to combine the divide and end up with 9 in the denominator. So here we're going to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division together. So we have to make sure we do BEDMAS. So here I'm going to do brackets first. So I'm going to get a common denominator of 6. So times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. This is going to give me 4 over 6 plus 3 over 6. And keep that in brackets. Times by 1/2 plus 1/2. So I'm going to do the brackets first. So 7 over 6 times 1 over 2 plus 1 over 2. So I'm going to do the multiplication first. Times on top, divide on bottom. So I get 7 over 12 plus, I want a common denominator, so I'm going to get a common denominator of 12. So I need a times 6 here, times 6 here, and that gives me 6 over 12. So with that common denominator, I can add those together. I add the numerators, 13 over 12. We just count the numerators, we leave the denominators the same. So there's my final answer, 13 over 12.